part of that team that mounted that rally against Beerhausen.
Yes, he was. Although he was not really instrumental in the sense that he didn't provide any scores. It was his teammates who did it. Frank Lim, this guy's Alolor. He had 12 points in the second quarter.
And that's Jeff Moore towering high for that rebound. They're down by 8, 4:58 left before halftime. The handoff to Chip Engelland. Chico asking for the pass instead. Ituri got it. Again, a very tight court on the record on lane by Great Pace, forcing the outside shots on the part of NCC, and we've got a loose ball foul acknowledged by Joel Banal. Or was it Vicente?
Vicente. 16 fouls now called against Great Pace. Northern has 4 minutes and 46 seconds left here in the second quarter.
Great Taste, courting team foul trouble. They've already got 6. NCC still has 3 to spare. England fires out Alolor.
That's a dangerous play. On the weak side, they screen off. Moore provides, England provides the screen for the alley-oop for Moore. If he can get a...
The crest of the rally they mounted a few minutes back, which was temporarily stemmed by the coffee men. Banal tries to work it into Brown, and here's Chip England looking behind him. Nobody within a mile, but Joel Banal is right there in front of him.
England is hot now, Joe. He has 16 points, 14 here in the second quarter.
When this guy scores, he scores in clusters.
Right, they're coming back.
That's just a 4-point difference now. 45-41. Alolor gets it over to Brown. Adornado. He's been effectively shackled by Jung Chico. He gets it right back. He's going to try again. Nope. Lateral pass to Ricky Brown. Let's see if he's regained his touch. Got it.
Good teamwork between Adornado and Brown. The two shooters really know their business.
47-41. 2 of the consummate professionals in the entire league. And they're keeping Northern at bay with a 6-point advantage. 3:37 left before halftime. Turnaround by Moore.
Moore is trying to work Banal from the outside now. He doesn't want to post himself up there low. Alolor goes for the layup. Blocked by Moore.
And was Alejo Alolor right in the face. Another defensive gem displayed by Jeff Moore. Let's see him take matters into his own hands. Frontal assault to the basket. Too much muscle behind it. Banal for the recovery. And here is Ricky Brown. Diagonal pass to Adornado. He's going to challenge Chip England. Good pump fake by Adornado. He's going to count.
Adornado got him up in the air. He took the fake. Got the foul.
Well, I've said it before. I'll say it again. I don't know of anybody in the league who has not yet bitten into that kind of a fake put up by Bogs Adornado.
Yes. You know, when we played them, I told my players, never mind if he shoots over you. Just don't buy in the fake because it could result into a 3-point play. Like in this case, he already has 19 points, you know.
Make that 20 points. And another 7-point lead for Great Pace. That should give them some breathing room. Temporarily stemming the tide of the NCCs, who takes a terrific comeback from a 17-point deficit earlier in the game. Jeff Moore inside heavy traffic. The pirouette is no good. Yes, he forced that shot. It's going to go to Great Pace, but not before this timeout. We'll be right back. Turn of the game, 2 minutes and 28 left before halftime. More bad news for Ron Jacobs. Ricky Brown has found a shooting touch. Gave Great Pace 2 points quickly. Retaliated by Chip England, and it's now 52-45, 7-point lead for Great Pace.
That's good news for him because Engelland has popped in 16 points in the second quarter.
That's true. Adornado and Brown.
Oh, Brown is just shooting over Pumaren right now.
16 points for Ricky, 20 points for Bogs Adornado. These two guys have been the cogs of the Great Pace machine right from the start of this game. Chip England from the 3-point territory. Rainbow connection.
Yes, he's shooting. And Baby is mad because Alolor gave him the 3-point shot. Not like Manansala, who would stick very close to Engelland and at least try to bother him.
That's right. It doesn't matter how far away he is from the goal. Pumarin making things tough and uncomfortable here for Ricky Brown. Just picked up his second personal.
See, that's the way. He gave up the foul rather than give him the shot, especially when he's hot. And Manansala is weighing sent back into the ball game for Alolor.
And both clubs are on the brink of team foul trouble with 1 minute and 37 to go. Ricky Brown. Manansala. Here's Bogs Adornado. He instantly draws a double coverage despite that.
And they beat into the fake again.
Oh, yes. He's a complete angler. He's already got 22 points. 1 minute and 23. First half action. Jeff Moore versus Joel Banal. Jeff Moore coming up with a careless pass.
That's right. 8-point lead, 1 minute and 15 seconds left. Great Pace trying to go back to a double-digit lead.
And Ron Jacobs looks perturbed, and I don't blame him. Ball tapped out by Wichiko. One more time around the block for Great Taste. Fantastic second wind displayed here by Great Taste after NCC mounted a rally that cut down the lead to only 3 points, was it?
Yes, but you expect that because Brown was resting, you know. That's why they sent him back in when NCC was rallying, and he had the win.
And here's Anthony Mendoza.
Good pass there to Chip Engelland, who almost didn't have enough muscle in that layup.
And I could hear him almost grinning here at Joel Banal. Finally got rid of you.
He was shouting, get in there for that shot.
On the Great Taste side of the floor, Ricky Brown puts one up over Pumaran, and he's going to do that all night, believe me. 58-50. Only 30 seconds to go in the first half. John Wichiko working in the left quarter court against Adornado. Anthony Mendoza jockeying for position. Chip Engelland trying to escape. Jimmy Maranzala bangs it in off the glass.
He and Adornado are having a shoot fest tonight, you know, at the Oki Corral.
That's right. 25 points for England, 22 for Adornado.
And Engelland did not play as long as Adornado did. Last shot in the offing for Great Taste. Banal gets away from Jeff Moore.
Joel Banal displaying himself, protected by Great Taste. Makes that a 10-point lead now.
And Brown hits 2 baskets in a row. Moving well without the ball, getting into proper position.
22 points apiece now for Adornado and Ricky Brown. Ituri providing a pick for Elmer Reyes, who came in via the baseline.
Right, Elmer trying to go for a foul from referee Hawkson. Jacobs is up. He and I had a talk at halftime, and he said he felt that he wasn't very happy with the way Manny was calling the game. But Manny's pretty tight. The point is that he might be right in the sense that Manny couldn't follow the fast break pace of Great Taste. He couldn't come down that quick enough, you know.
Well, in any case, Ron Jacobs might do well to keep his thoughts and feelings to himself, because he had already been slapped with a warning midway in the second quarter during a rest period.
And a technical will be called should he be given another, stern warning. No?
That's right. Quick pirouette by Moore, overshoots. Manny Victorino recovers for Great Taste. They're up by 8, 9:57 left the third period. Quick shot off the glass by Alejo Lalor produces nothing. Counter pass break being fashioned by the red shirts of NCC. The pull-up by Pumaran likewise produces 0.
Look at their fast break. There were 3, but there were 4 Great Taste coffee makers. So they didn't have a layup. They had to take an outside shot, which is not a high percentage shot on a fast break.
Another big fat egg, this time laid by Ricardo Brown on a jump shot.
3-on-2 situation.
Reyes on the baseline.
Foul called on Joel Banal for standing into the path of Elmer Reyes. 2 free throws for Elmer Reyes. Great clap given by the guys on the bench.
Right. 9.5 minutes, a shade over 9.5 minutes left in the third quarter. The NCC is once again back on the comeback trail. 64-57. 10,000 in attendance here at the Adornado Coliseum to witness a grudge affair. Well, Ron Jacobs really has a big score and a big extra grind against Great Taste. Here's Manny Victorino. He loses it to the baseline on better fingers. And this could be the golden opportunity NCC has been waiting for.
That's right. They're just down by 6. They are in the offensive play. Engelland, their top gunner, is seated on the bench resting. You know, he'll probably go in straight midway into the third quarter and probably play the whole game if necessary after that.
Well, that's one great aspect of Ron Jacobs' coaching. He husbands his resources extremely well, and that's Jeff Moore hitting the deck but not yielding the ball at all, but he was called for traveling.
That's right. Moore losing his footing there.
2 team fouls for NCC, 1 for GT. That's Great Taste. Joel Banal, Manny Victorino, top of the key versus Ituri. Elmer Reyes really tightening up on Bogs Adornado, and that's a foul away from the ball by Elmer Reyes.
That's right. Bogs knows how to bait you in the block because he rams into you, pulls back a little bit, and rams into you again. Make sure the referees catch it, you know. That's why he's Bogs Adornado.
That's why he is a 3-time MVP.
That's right.
Alalur attempted a pass to Manny Victorino, deflected by Moore, and Great Taste will have a new lease on life. Joel Banal doing the honors from the baseline. Manny Victorino, as usual, confronted by Ituri. He's going to take Ituri one-on-one. Yes, sir.
Good move there by Victorino. Ituri played honest defense, kept his hands up, but Victorino just shot over him.
And it's back to an 8-point advantage for Great Taste. A baseline drive by Solis. Drew no foul whistle. And here is Alolor going for the home run.
Oh, what a great catch by Alolor. You know, that was a great catch.
He should be an outfielder for the St. Louis Cardinals. 68-58, back to a 2-digit advantage for Great Taste. Looking for their 6th win in 8 games.
Oh, bad pass there by Pumaren. He had the right idea, kicking it to Jeff Moore, who was cutting into the 3-second area. And there's a loose ball foul called on Reyes as he tried to intercept.
You know, a lot of people are just looking to Great Taste and NCC, and also Crispa with an outside chance of making it to the outright semifinals berths without really paying much attention to Gold Eagle, who is very much in striking distance.
That's right. It's Gold Eagle that really will give these two teams a tough fight, and certainly Gold Eagle would like Northern to win this game so that they'll be half a game ahead of Great Taste, no?
So you can count Gold Eagle as among the rooters tonight for the NCCs. That's 70-58, a dozen-point lead for Great Taste. Here's Solis. Great pass to Jeff Moore.
Solis is trying to create some situations for his team. Alolor scampering to the front court, but Brown did not give him the pass. Moore was there. Moore would have had an easy interception.
Franz Pumarin. Bogs Adornado. 26 points now for William the Conqueror. He has already surpassed the output of Chip Engelland, which stands at 25, and him in cold storage. Solis with a cross-court pass to Franz Pumarin. Working that ball like a volleyball.
Loose ball foul on Solis. 15 foul called against Northern, and the outside shots of Northern are not falling in.
Ron Jacobs promised a decent defense against Great Taste, but Baby the Lupan is coming up with a magnificent defense against NCC.
Especially when Engelland is not there, he would rather give you the outside shot than to try to get Moore posted up low without any double teaming. Oh,
Brown is open. You know what happens when you give him breathing room.
That's right. That's why the price you have to pay when you double team somebody in low post like Adornado, he gets the ball back quickly, you're in trouble.
Solis missing at point-blank range. He's going to have a second effort, and this time he draws a foul.
Foul called on Adornado, leaning onto Solis. Solis didn't make the shot.
Third personal for Bogs Adornado, Alfonso Solis. A prize trophy acquired by Ron Jacobs in mid-season after a very successful stint with the national team in Seoul, Korea. He was with the RP youth team. 5 points for Solis. Ron Jacobs is sorely missing the services of his ace slot man, and that's Edis Dignatice. But then again, the odds are just about even as far as that score is concerned, because Baby Dalupan is also missing Arnie Columbus.
That's very true, you know. The value of Arnie could also not be discounted. There's going to be a foul there given up by Turi, foul downstairs.
Manny Victorino drove in with might and main and got a foul from Ituri, his third personal, and the 16th foul for NCC. Their courting team foul trouble with a good CBA fair on Thursday. September 6th begins at 7:30 p.m. with a battle of the beers, Beerhausen and Gold Eagle. This is going to be a pivotal encounter for Gold Eagle if they want to stay in contention for the semifinals berth. And this will be followed by the delayed telecast of the Crispa versus Tandoy encounter at 9:30 p.m. Tingoy Pengson and Freddie Webb will be working those games for you. 76-62, 14-point lead for Great Taste. Solis with a jump shot.
Oh, way off the mark.
Well, Alora slightly deflected that attempt. But NCC will keep the basketball. Jeff Moore with a handoff to Franz Pumarin. The fadeaway of Joel Banal. He was distracted. And Bogs Adornado comes down with a rebound. Great fluid motion by Great Taste.
Yes. Shot is counted for a Lulor plus a foul from Elmer Reyes.
By God, that's the kind of a move that deserves a big, big shot of Andy Player's special whiskey. The real whiskey for real winners. And by the way, so many Andy Player clubs are sprouting all over the archipelago. I told you about 2 of them already in past coverages, and these are the Friday Club of San Miguel Village in Makati and the Saturday Club of Pasay And all its members, all outstanding members of the community have one passion in common, and that's a great love for Andy Player's Special Whiskey. Well, if you have an Andy Player club of your own, do let us know about it, and we will be only too glad to mention that fact and whatever your activities are lined up. We've got some subs.
Well, Engelland and Pumaren and Calma were sent in for Pumaren and Solis. Adornado is being replaced by Jimmy Manasala. Reason for this, Lulor is doing well. Wouldn't want to take him out right now. And Manasala, well, in there to guard Engelland.
For great taste, that last foul by Elmer Reyes was also the 17th foul for NCC with a good 5 minutes and 58 to go in the third period. And this is a situation the great tasters are certainly going to exploit. Reyes making his move up on Lulor. Well, that was a good foul given up by Alejo Lulor. It's his third personal. Timeout. We'll be right back.
Northern Consolidated.
Back to the bristling action between NCC and Great Taste. 5:39 left in the third frame. Here is Elmer Reyes for the red shirts of Northern Consolidated. Engelland with a fadeaway at point-blank range, and that is his 27th point for the evening.
Well, he took his first attempt here in the third quarter, made it. 15-point lead, however, for the Great Taste Coffee makers. Engelland might have been sitting a little bit too long on the bench.
I was about to say that. I felt Ron Jacobs was keeping him in the freezer too long. There's a hook shot by Manny Victorino, and Engelland pulled down the rebound. Here is Heck Calma. He's also back in harness. Elmer Reyes up on the lure. Bullseye.
That timeout really did the Northern squad good. They have regrouped. But the point is, you know, he knows Engelland cannot play Hull for 24 minutes. So might as well Great Taste going into a bigger lead. He felt that maybe they could just control it at 8, and Engelland will do the damage when he comes in.
He didn't figure the Great Tasters were going on a rampage. And here is Ricky Brown. He cops out after throwing double team. Yes.
Oh, but there's a getaway by Manansala. Good defense there already by the part of Northern, but it went into a lapse.
That's right. They found another yawning breach. Ituri perfectly open, blocked by Manny Victorino. He tries again, and it's swatted away again. Ricky Brown fielding a pass beautifully.
Oh, and since it's in penalty situation, that's going to mean 2 free throws for Brown.
That's right. The shot is not counted because the foul came first, but they're over the limit, so it's going to be 2 shots just the same for Ricky Brown from the line. Fourth personal there for Tonichi Ituri, and here is the guy whom Ron Jacobs is really digging deep into his barrel for to seek a replacement for Ives Dignabisi, who has been meted a 1-game suspension.
That's right. And so far, Mendoza has not been able to come up to his expectations. Brown missing his first free throw. The lead is still at 15. 4 minutes and 22 seconds left in this match. In this third quarter, I'm sorry.
82-66. The Great Tasters have kept the NCCs at bay right from the start of this game. They've led only twice. NCC, that is, at 2-0 and at 8-4.
Good shot there by Hector Cama from the outside.
Only the first basket tonight for Hector, the Liquidator, and we've got 4 minutes and 6 seconds left in the third period. Well, Heck still has to find his former form. After all, that was a very long layoff.
Illegal defense called against the Northern squad for playing zone defense.
Warning on Northern. Illegal defense.
And there's a very animated group of Great Taste fans right behind the Northern basket. They certainly have not been remiss in their taunts for the NCC team.
Right. Good swipe from behind by Calma, and that made Brown lose his dribble there. Turnover in favor of Northern. Brown, there's a good getaway by Calma. Gets fouled, but he couldn't get the shot in.
So he'll have to get his 2 points the hard way, and that's from the stripes. Ricky Brown just collected only his first personal, but the 4th team foul for Great Taste. That's a lot better than NCC, which went into team foul trouble about a couple of minutes ago, and Ricky Brown is once again going to be kept in cold storage. Back to the slammer for Ricky Brown. Well, we asked Ricky about 2 games ago, that is 2 games of Great Taste ago, why he was in and out of the game, and he told me that he purposely asks for these respites because he hasn't fully recovered from that long layoff.
Well, that's true, you know, and I think it's proper pacing on the part of the Lupa. Look at him now. He presents back in Adornado. Alulor had his glory with his getaways, but then defense has spoiled this game. Now back to William. So the pacing is very good.
And William goes up for another shot. This time,
a little bit low. Yes,
right. 82-70. NCC down by 12. With Chico in an open situation. It rimmed out.
But Mendoza is there for the offensive rebound. He takes a lot, gets the foul from Banal downstairs.
Banal.
Third personal for Joel Banal. 15 foul for Great Taste. And here's Chito Lizaga to check in at the next dead ball situation. Calma versus Frankie Lim. Once again, that penetration.
See, Hector has not fully recovered because he can leap higher than that. In that play, he wanted to really go up, but he doesn't have the leap yet, you know. That's why he was really frustrated for missing the shot. But ordinarily, he'd be even on top. Hector, I've seen him. He can really even put his hands on top of the ring.
You know, at his peak form, Hector Calma might as well be the local counterpart of Cal Murphy.
That's right, that's right.
Timeout. We'll be right back.
Timeout, Great Taste Coffee.
Hector Calma misses, but Anthony didn't.
Anthony had 2 offensive rebounds. One he gave back to Calma, and the other one was a tap-in. So they've cut down the lead to 9. 3-point play in reverse.
Balance of this third period is pegged at 2 minutes and 55 seconds. Here's Chito Lizaga. Goes Adornado, struggling to control the leather, loses it to the baseline. Last touch by Wichico. So the Coffee Men are going to inbound from the baseline.
They're trying to post up Adornado because, like you said, Northern is in foul trouble, and Adornado can fish for those fouls.
Well, they themselves are not an easy street because they're just 1 foul shy of the limit. Here's Lim. Manansala. The NCC's tightened up beautifully on defense, and the shot clock finally caught up with Great Taste.
You must always be happy when your team is able to get the 25-second violation against the opposing team because that means you played good defense. They couldn't set up properly for the shot, no?
Yes, that should warm the cockles of Ron Jacobs' heart.
Any coach would be happy.
But they're still down by 9. And Hector Calma misses in an open situation. Finally became gun-shy. Young Wichico was slightly distracted by Adornado. It didn't prevent the shot from falling right through the hole.
He has taken few shots, but he has very high percentage. Uchico is a good substitute now for Elmer Reyes, who's not really having a great game. But that's going to be a foul by Uchico. Adornado gets a good move against him, gets the foul. They are in penalty. Bogs knows how to fish.
I wonder why he missed out on that plane trip to Kona, Hawaii for the bass fishing tournament.
Okay.
2 minutes and 11 seconds. By the way, the Filipino anglers who went there, led by Vic Villavicencio, did extremely well.
That's right.
83-75. Every time Northern comes up with a sizzling rally, there's always the squelcher, and invariably it comes by the name of William Adornado.
Well, if it's not Adornado, it's Brown, so it's always good to have one of them on the court.
It's always safe to have one of them on the court. Chip Engelland getting away from Manansala.
Looks for Manansala, finds him behind, tries to fish for a foul, didn't get it, misses the shot instead.
A minute and 55 left in the third period. Great Pace still keeping NCC at bay with a 9-point lead. Make that an 11-point lead. Compliments of Bogs Adornado. That's his 30th point. Hector Calma has worked up a pretty good sweat. This must be the longest stretch in a game that Hector Calma has seen since his return to the hard court. The finger roll by Mendoza was very awkwardly executed, and here is Manny Victorino, the big guy, showing everybody that he too can dribble that ball. And Bogs Adornado says, hold it, fellows. We've got 15 seconds in the shot clock. We've got time to organize. Lim finds Adornado, and another foul from Wichico.
Yes, and Wichico, it's useless for you to foul Adornado like that because he's far away from the basket, and he's a dead shot from the 15-foot line.
Exactly. You hit the nail right on the head. Why give up the foul? You just play honest defense, and if he can get his basket, then there's nothing else you can do about it.
Well, Adornado strung 4 straight points, make that 5 for his team. Back to a 12-point lead for them. A minute and 14 left in the third quarter.
87-75 is the exact tally. And it's fantastic how Great Pace has been able to hold off picking its 7th and last foul. That's his last allowable foul. Here's Engelland at work against Manansala. He put up a haphazard shot. Ball getting away from Frankie Lim. Saved by Chito Lizaga. And here's Manny Victorino. Fast break in the offing. Victorino with a pull-up. Oh, that's not his bag.
He tried a 3-point shot there, you know.
Right.
And with a lot of time to go. Good steal made by Frankie Lim.
These guys must be on a big high, trying things they never attempted before. Bogs Adornado at point-blank range.
That's right. Jeff Moore is tired. Ordinarily, he would live for the blocks, but he's tired. He's not going for the defensive work.
And there is another whopping 15-point advantage by Great Pace with only 32 seconds left in the third quarter. It's going to be a very steep uphill climb for the Nationals come the final chapter.
Ron Jacobs finally claps, but Great Pace gets his 17th foul with only 27 seconds. Because really, the play before, Manansala was banging Engelland, but no calls were made.
Oh, you can bet Engelland is not having a picnic here with Manansala constantly banging his body against his, and not romantically either. Chip Engelland. Oh, he drove in far too deep to the baseline.
Only 10 seconds. Victorino is going to take it against Calma. And a blocking foul called against Hector Calma. Good call there.
That's right. Heck didn't have enough time to establish position. That's his fourth personal.
And 2 free throws for Manny Victorino with 9 seconds left here in the third quarter.
Manny Victorino wearing number 1 on his back. And the way he's been playing lately, he probably will deserve that number.
If the viewers are wondering why we have not been able to give them slow-mos, it's because our machine is out of order tonight.
Well, I'm sure they're missing that, but we're doing our best. Our best men are on the job working on that slow-mo machine, and hopefully before Christmas we can give it back to you. No, I'm just kidding. We'll have it for you in our next coverage on Thursday.
Victorino splitting his charities, 9.3 seconds left. Enough time to get a shot up.
91-75. Young Chico powering this game. Hang on the seats. We'll be right back. Crispa, and then their last time out against, who did they clobber the last time around? But then also in the same breath, we'd like to say that Great Pace also have been through a harrowing experience at the hands of Beerhausen only 2 nights ago.
That's right. Adornado has 37 points, made that 36 points, I'm sorry. And we're still very early into the fourth quarter.
36 points for Adornado, 25 for Brown, 15 for Manny Victorino. Very even distribution of scoring on the part of Great Pace. And that was a beautiful drive down the middle on a pirouette by, who was that?
Elmer Reyes.
Elmer Reyes.
Pumaren came into the ball game together with Reyes and Ituri.
12 points now for Elmer. We're a minute into the fourth quarter. Manansala with a graceful leap, reminiscent of a Swan Lake Ballet.
Well, he shows that he can also play offense. He was a very offensive-minded player in the past. Now he's starting to play good defense.
Elmer Reyes hitting from behind the screen, set up for him by Chip Engelland, and he's going to town. He's waxing hot. They're going to go to him from here on in. 95-76, still a very commanding 16-point lead for Great Pace.
And now Great Pace is in no hurry. They're trying to make use of the clock as much as possible.
Time definitely is on their side.
And Adornado, 38 points.
Oh, you can feel the heat of Adornado's right arm all the way to Luneta. Engelland. Foul. Manansala.
Foul Manansala.
That's the fourth personal for Jimmy Manansala. I mean, everything considered, Manansala has been doing well. Although, of course, he has been banging Engelland like nobody's business.
2 free throws for Chip Engelland.
That was a very long silence for Chip Engelland. Only his first point after he picked up his 27th marker very early in the third period.
That's right. He was fielded in about 5 minutes left in the third quarter, got 2 points, but then was really silenced. Most probably he'll explode here again in the fourth quarter. He also plays in spurts,
That's going to take a mighty big explosion to overcome that lead being enjoyed by Great Pace right now, and they might just be taking the right step in that direction with that fumble by Jimmy Manansala.
Still a lot of time, 10 minutes and 3 seconds left in the match, 16-point lead. But the point is that Baby Dalupan has been shifting his men so well, and they've been delivering, Even the reserves have been delivering.
Reyes.
Good move by Elmer Reyes. He has 6 points here in the third quarter. In the fourth quarter, I'm sorry.
Is the guy who's been detonating those bombs for NCC in this final chapter, Manny Victorino. Beautiful shot by Jimmy.
He also has 4 points here in the fourth quarter. Shows that Engelland, you must play defense against me too.
Exactly. He's showing Engelland that he doesn't have a monopoly on those rifle shots.
Look at Manansala hound Engelland.
Pumarin leisurely took one from Tauriki, missed, and there's a loose ball foul.
Ituri comes up with a loose ball foul, his 5th personal foul.
Foul, Ituri.
In the absence of Ives Dignatise, it looks very bleak here for Ron Jacobs. If Ituri should foul out, he'll have to depend solely on Anthony Mendoza. And I think he's going to Mendoza right now.
Ituri.
Yes, Ituri has just checked out for Anthony. And promptly, Baby Dalupan replies by sending Alejo Alulor for Adornado.
Yes, Adornado has played a spectacular game. Good rest is needed. Plenty of time. They have a good lead. Can always send him back into the game. You can use your timeouts very well here in the 4th quarter.
Exactly. 38 points for Bogs Adornado. Jimmy Manansala. Oh, he couldn't take it from the other side. Despite the pick set up for him by Manny Victorino, it's 99-83. Great pace, just 1 point shy of the benchmark of 100 points. Anthony Mendoza bounced the ball off his foot.
Mendoza is having a terrible evening. He's having a nightmare here.
You bet. And Ron Jacobs is growing gray hairs by the moment. Here's Ricky Brown once again against Pumarin. He's been exploiting that mismatch with Pumarin right from the start of this affair. And here's Alejo Alulor. Well, he gave Jeff Moore a big contest for the rebound there.
That's right, and they pick up the loose ball recovery. Great Taste is really having the breaks falling their way also.
Good fake by Ricky Brown, but the shot won't go. Nevertheless, we've got a foul by Pumarin.
Foul, Pumarin.
4 personals for Franz Pumarin. Ron Jacobs has been slowly trying to work Heckhama back into the flow of NCC's game, but so far he hasn't succeeded. Not tonight anyway, so he still has to fall back on Franz Pumarin.
I was just checking some statistics there. I wanted to see how much Moore has been playing. He has only 7 points in this game. And that's really something. It's either good defense has been played against him, and it is true that there has been good defensive game against Moore. Another thing is, he's not that active, you know, as he usually is. He lives for the defensive rebound, but in the offensive board, he's almost always box out, so he doesn't have those follow-up shots, and he hasn't been making his side court shots. This is what's killing NCC.
Here's to tell Andrew, I have a feeling Jeff Moore might be suffering from something. He's not 100% intensity tonight.
Yes, and this is to compound the errors of Norton. An illegal pick was called against Anthony Mendoza on the other end.
Well, Ron Jacobs really is left with no other options because Dignatise has been meted a 1-game suspension, and his other ace slot man, and that's Ituri, is now settled with 5 fouls. Brown.
3-point shot. Missing it though.
101-83. 18-point advantage for Great Taste. Look at Moore. He didn't even go back there for the offense.
He has not been relieved, however, here in the second half. See, that's what's telling on him right now.
Well, even Superman can get tired sometimes. 101-85. 7:43 left in the ball game. Manny Victorino hounded by Mendoza. Ricky Brown gets it over to Chito Loizaga. He fakes off Jeff Moore. Manansala from the 3-point region.
Yes, sir. 7 points in the 4th quarter. Jimmy Manansala is showing his wear.
104-85. That shows you the full, potent scoring shot of Great Taste. Just about every man there can deliver.
You're right.
Foul, Victorino.
Victorino just picked up his 2nd personal. And notice how they've husbanded their fouls very well. No key player is really in any danger except for Manansala, who's got 4.
No, all the people in attendance here at the Coliseum, none have really left. No, 7 minutes and 18, they're down by 19. Mendoza can cut down the 2. But you can see that Great Taste has had a follow, and Norton also has had a following, in the sense that people have known them to be able to come back. But the shuffling of men off the Lupan, and at the same time, the way these players have been playing is something else tonight. No?
That's true. They seem to be very listless, and I really am inclined to believe that Great Taste, with its 3 successive victories over them, including those they chalked up in the first conference, have really imposed some kind of a psychological block or a phobia, as you would call it, Andrew, on these guys.
And Brown is starting to miss right now, and just a 17-point lead.
Engelland from the side.
Yes, sir. Down to a 15-point lead. 6 minutes and 50 seconds left.
Earlier, you made a very sharp observation, Andrew, that despite this lopsided game, or so it would seem at this point anyway, nobody has left the Coliseum. That's because really, even the non-followers of NCC know that they have the capability to sustain a game right down to the wire.
That's right. Loizaga powering his way there against Elmer Reyes. They're really running their plays well, no? Opening the 3-second area and then letting the big fellows cut in.
106-89. Volleyball passing here between Pumaren and Jeff Moore. Chito Loizaga is on the ball.
Moore is really gun-shy. He doesn't even want to attempt.
That's right. Mendoza with a baseline drive. And it's going to be a goaltending or a foul.
A block, a foul. Foul called against Victorino.
Foul Victorino.
That's the third personal for Manny Victorino, sending Anthony Mendoza to the 15-foot line. Let's take a look at that last piece of action again in slow-mo. What did you think, Andrew?
It's working right now. Slow-mo is now working, yes. Well, anybody's call, you know. Victorino was complaining a little bit, but the call had been made.
And a 16-point lead for Great Taste. Anthony Mendoza, you know, Ron Jacobs threw him into deep waters even before he was ready for it, I think. And that's because of the necessities of the circumstances.
That's right, but he's delivered 4 points ever since he came into the ball game, cutting down the lead to 15 right now.
I didn't realize that Joey Carpio was also in sick bay. He's in cities. He's not suited up for the game, Andrew.
He didn't play the last time out already. He must be ill.
Alalor with a cross-court pass to Manny Victorino. Watch him make mincemeat of Mendoza. He didn't at that time anyway, and the ball falls right to the hands of Chip Engelland. The NCCs are running the break. The bounce pass by Pumaren to Engelland, and the back shot goes in.
Engelland is really one of the most prolific shooters I've seen. You know, he can shoot on a run, on a stop, 3-point. He can shoot on a dime.
The machine gun is rattling off a whole bundle of 50 caliber ammunition again. He's already got 35 points. 106-93. Ricky Brown versus Pumaren. A pushing foul there by Pumaren. His fifth.
That's right.
Foul Pumaren.
5:21 left in the ball game. I'm Joe Cantata, and once again I'm having the luxury of working these games with Dr. Renfrew J. Howe, who's about to give you the scoring by periods.
Well, we have the scoring by periods. Great Taste established their game in the first quarter by leading by 15. Norton was able to cut it down, but then fell again in the third quarter.
Contact whistle blew on that play. That was the fourth personal of Alejo Alalur. They're dead even as far as team fouls are concerned. 4 apiece. 5:10 left. Heck Kalma is back in the game. He came in during that last timeout. And here's Elmer Reyes preparing to take off Alejo Alalur. He elected to go for a 17-footer instead of driving in. He was undoubtedly intimidated by Alalur, and we have got a violation.
A good call. It's a backing violation called against Norton because they were still in their front court when the tap was made. Moore retrieved the ball in the back court, and Adornado is sent back into the fray.
I've been observing Ron Jacobs in the past few minutes, Andrew. He's been very pensive, and he's not his usual very choleric self. So could it be that he's throwing in the towel?
Not really, because he has not taken out all of his top players, you know, because Moore and Engelland are there. But he's just hoping that the breaks will now start falling his way. 3-point shot by Manansala. Victorino pulls down the rebound, gets the easy 2 points.
And that's a 17-point markup for Great Taste, and that's a whopping lead in any league, in any language. Heck Kalma throwing the 3-point line. Anthony Mendoza going up against Victorino. He put a tall arc on that shot. It fell a tad short, and here's Ricky Brown with that very smart shuffle downtown for Great Taste. Chito Loizaga gets it right back to Ricky. They're going to work this one out carefully. They have the clock working for them. 14 seconds of the shot clock, 4:11 left in the game clock. Ricky makes his move against Heck Kalma. Can't shake off Heck. Adornado goes up against Elmer.
Adornado was sent back into the ballgame to do the job, to finish the job. Mendoza is caught for stepping on the end line. Automatic violation. We have another timeout. We'll be right back.
You know, Andrew, Great Taste has just added insult to injury by putting in Balani, and he came through with another brilliant basket for Great Taste to make it 114-93.
That's right, and they thought they won the championship with that shot of Balani. He got to get away from Jeff Moore. Balani fouling Chip Engelland in the return play. He's been told to stick to Engelland all the way, all night.
You know, with their Spartan training, the NCCs have been known to be a very disciplined and intense squad, but, you know, the Saiwar tactics being applied here by Baby Dalupan may just as well break even the heart of an Indian elephant. An expression. Because when you send in a guy like this, that means you're very confident of victory.
That's right. He sent in a guy, but he has four other guys there that can do the job, you know. He's just there for defensive purposes now. He told him not to hurt Engelland. Engelland with a 3-point shot makes it.
Engelland 3 points.
38 points for Chip Engelland. He's just 2 points away from Bogs Adornado's total output of 40.
That's a good match, individual matchup there.
This has really been a shootout of the OK Corral between two of the hottest shooters in the league. Engelland on the one side, Adornado on the other. Victorino trying to get into the act and missing. 114-96 still the count. Engelland met by Adornado.
He's getting his 40th point, not giving up the shot. Adornado gave him the shot, but Engelland will not pass off.
Oh, it's nice seeing those two honchos confronting each other in that particular sequence.
Engelland is defending against Adornado on the return play.
Ricky Brown missing a 20-footer, and Heck Kalma. Foul from behind by Ricky.
Well, that's a 17th foul now called against Great Taste. It was a loose ball foul, so it's just going to be a side court throwing. 16-point lead for Great Taste. 2 minutes and 33. We'll be back after this timeout.
Despite MCC's whopping deficit, Chip Engelland continues to run berserk. He's just scored his 42nd marker for the evening, cutting down the Great Taste lead to 14 points with 2 minutes and 3 to go. Adornado misses from Kauriki. Loose ball foul spotted by referee Bartolome
on Loizaga, and since they are in penalty, that's going to mean 2 free throws for Alfonso Solis. Can't count out NCC with 2 minutes. You know, against Gilbey's in the first conference, they were down by 12 with a minute and something left, and they were able to tie the ball game. Eventually won in overtime by a big margin. Of course, Great Taste feels it has the game well under control. They're really making use of the clock. The Lupan is sending in Banal back into the ball game.
But it's amazing how the knowledgeable basketball fans on hand here at the Adornado Coliseum know that basketball only too well. They haven't made any move. Not a single one has left the Coliseum. We'll be right back after this timeout.
Sabi ko, director, namimiss natin yun.
A fantastic coast-to-coast performance by Ricky Brown, just up the Great Taste lead to 16 points, and Chip Engelland can 44th point, just 2 shy of the season high erected by Mon Fernandez.
That's right, and he already has his own personal record tied 44 points with 1 minute and 30. You know, Chip might throw up some more points here.
That's a very, very likely possibility, Andrew, with a good minute and 23 seconds to go. But right now, the copy men are working the clock. Joel Banal. Great follow-up by Balani.
Yes, his man was nowhere inside. Balani was there for the follow-up. One game for the Great Taste Coffee Makers have tied the Northern Consolidated for first place with 6 wins and 2 losses. Engelland is there. Missing it, however.
Well, just because Great Taste is about to win this game against Northern and tie Northern for the lead, that doesn't mean these guys are automatically shoe-ins for the 2 semifinal berths, because you haven't seen Gold Eagle yet. They're also in very hot contention for that.
5-2 right now. They also have 4 more games to go, although it's going to be a tough grind for them. Adornado getting his 42nd point.
This really has been a great sidelight to a great match. The individual shooting duel between Chip Engelland and Bogs Adornado, and now it's Chip's turn.
46 points for Chip Engelland.
He's just equaled Mon Fernandez's season record of 46.
Great Taste now trying to go for the last shot with only 20 seconds left in the match. Might not give Engelland the opportunity to become the top scorer, but there's a foul given up by Kalma. They're not in penalty, so it's just going to be a side court throw-in for Great Taste.
And that's too bad for Chip Engelland. He will not be able to get a season high, because you can bet Great Taste is going to hang on to that ball now with only 14.5 seconds to go. They don't even have to take an attempt at the basket.
Probably will at the last second. And Norton useless to foul at this point because they're not yet in penalty. Good steal there, but they lost it to the end line.
5.2 ticks left.
Ramon must be very happy.
He must be. He must be awfully happy. And there's a guy who's not very happy, Ron Jacobs.
Adornado, 42 points, might get his 44th. Gets a foul from Ituri. But they are not in penalty, like I said, so it's just going to be a side court throw. Ituri has fouled out of the ball game with only 1.5 seconds left.
The imminent specter of defeat confronting the Northern Consolidated Nationals. And the irony of it all is that those defeats were inflicted by the same gang, the Great Taste gang of Baby Dalupan. Look at that, adding insult to injury.
It counts. Balani has hit 6 points, running shot from about 20 feet.
Now I've seen everything, Andrew. Now I've seen everything. 122 to 105 is the final tally. We'll be right back.